is ended. The Atari 8-bit podcast.
Then I did a couple more programs, games, and sent them to Atari, and they wrote me everything fine. We will take them, but you should change this and this, add music. I did everything, sent them, but in this time they were bankrupt.
This is Antic, the Atari 8-bit podcast. I'm Kevin Savitz. Yakov Epelboim is a Russian immigrant who published two programs for the Atari 8-bit computers. Pushky, which I learned is the Russian word for cannons, was published by Atari Program Exchange and first appeared in the winter 1982-1983 APX catalog for $22.95. He also wrote Devilator, which he self-published as Zebra Company. Both programs were written in machine language, and both are unusual games, a little off the beaten track from other games of the era. The APX catalog said, Pushky is in a class by itself in terms of game format, at least we have nothing else like it at APX. The description says, imagine you've been spirited away to a world populated only by floating clouds of all sizes, and by Pushkys, which look remarkably like tiny joystick controllers. In this strange world, the principal pastime of Pushkys is pushing clouds and other Pushkys. In fact, that's the object of Pushky, a two-player game played with joysticks. Yakov is joined in this interview by his wife Olga, who added color commentary and translation help. This interview took place February 5th, 2016. So I would like to hear the story of how you got interested in Atari computers and why you made the two games that you made.
Okay, I came from Russia in 1977, and I was programmer there, worked like programmer, and when I came here and began work as a programmer.
What did you program in Russia?
In Russia, almost the same, but for government. I worked for government, and we did some tables and approximately. Here I did some system for military, for whom I did. That's my wife.
Hello, Kevin.
Yeah, she speaks better than me.
No, he has some little hearing problem, so I help him.
Yeah,
with English, with hearing, with.
Okay.
So what were you programming in Russia? Mainframe computers?
Mainframe computers, but it was computers works low generation, less worse than here, and no personal computer at that time. And I worked for this computer, and then in my free time did some games too. Try to make.
We've been working here from 1977.
Я сказал.
Oh, you told.
Why did you come to the United States?
Why? When? 1977. Yeah.
Why? For what reason?
Why?
What reason?
Mostly, Jewish discrimination. Mm-hmm. We had our daughter was 12. She was very brilliant, but we knew that she couldn't go to nice universities. And here she graduated from Carnegie Mellon, which is, very prestigious place.
Yes.
And she made, unfortunately, in 2001, she died of cancer.
So sorry.
But she became PhD. She made PhD in psychology and so on. I just want to say that what's the difference between what we had here and there. And the same with job. If you work here or have some connections, it's good. But if you want to go to another job, no way. Very difficult for Jewish people to.
Okay,
Anyway,
we came here. Yes, and in couple years after we came, personal computers began to work. And I bought one computer, Atari, and decided to make was what I like to do and I did some games on Atari. Pushky. Pushky in Russian, it's cannons.
cannons.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's just Russian words.
Okay.
And I sent it to Atari, the computer. And I was very surprised, accepted it and printed it and began to sell. I don't think they sell a lot, but anyway, they appeared and printed, and I was very proud. But still, I work on my main work for Department of Education. We did some database, and I worked there. Then I did couple more programs, games, and sent them to Atari, and they wrote me everything fine. We will take them, but you should change this and this, add music. I did everything, sent them, but in this time they were bankrupt. I don't know, they closed. And
What were these other? Do you remember what these other games were that you were working on?
no, they didn't work. It's another two games.
Devilator.
One of them called Devilator. People go to the elevator, a lot of people, and trying to put on the floor, and when they coming,
We have somewhere, I have.
what Olga will find right now.
And you got that one published by Zebra Company. I don't know who they are.
Yeah, I went through Zebra company, which I did. I called it Zebra, and
That was your company.
it's my company.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
And after they refused, I tried. I could not know all this order which existed here, but Atari left. I need another computer, but I didn't make more games. It was 3 games, and I stopped doing. But now I don't have it because I had really they sent me computer. They sent me a computer. Oh, no, I bought one computer, but this computer, something wrong was in this computer. I complained to them.
You bought an Atari computer and something was wrong with it, and you complained.
Yes, and Atari.
I'll show you.
Oh, okay. I'm looking at a flyer here. It says new from Zebra Systems, Devilator, exciting game of strategy and joystick finesse. Nice. Is this an advertisement you made?
Yeah, this was.
This was then done for advertisement, but
He ordered it to some artist to do this.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah. And he has, I think we could find diskette.
no, I don't think.
I think I saw somewhere.
Oh, you have the disc somewhere?
I
Nice.
think if we clean the garbage in our house,
It's not
we
garbage.
find
It's treasure. No.
And one time I had free computers. Atari sent me 2, but my guests and I stopped working on them because Julia, our daughter, work on this computer, did something, and
Yeah.
did some
She
programs.
was, she did,
And
she was in school, in high school,
she was,
and she did, every time we come home, she was on vacation, summer vacation, and she surprised us with something she did on that computer. She did some beginning of chess game. She did, then she did,
piano.
yeah, she was learning something, play guitar, and once we came and hear that the music is so good, and she played, so. But so she did. She programmed it on the computer, so computer played.
Wow.
And so on. She did some stuff there.
So they accepted these two games, but they gone in this time.
Right.
Yeah, they gone, and
I think they expanded too fast. They couldn't make it.
Yes.
For example, he found something wrong, and since I do all conversation, I called them and I wrote to them that something wrong, that send another computer or something, exchange our computer to the new one. And instead of exchanging, they send us two computers, two Ataris.
Really?
So I started to talk to them that we have two. Let me send you back two of your computer, one bad and one good. Send you back. They never answered to me. I didn't know where to send. So we had three computers. And at that time, it was 80, end of 80s. And in Russia, it was Gorbachev. And it was glasnost, and perestroika. And people started to come, our friends. And so
your friends started to come from Russia to visit or to move?
To visit us. They were allowed to visit. So one computer. Have you heard about the guy named Berezovsky?
No, I don't know.
You don't know about him.
Anyway.
He became a very billionaire in Russia. But that time,
this is the Tetris? The Tetris game? Is that who we're talking about? Okay.
No.
All right. He's the only Russian computer guy I know. Is
he's
Alexei. He did Tetris.
Yeah, some Russian guy made the Tetris. Yeah, but this so we gave two Ataris. We gave to Russian friends. They took it to Russia.
They didn't have.
They didn't have personal computer
at all. Only big computers.
So you kept one, and then the broken one and another one went back to Russia?
Yeah.
Nice.
All of them gone to Russia sooner or later.
Yeah,
because other people coming and they wanted in Russia. No, because America already moved ahead.
To PCs, yeah.
To PC, new PC, new. Sorry, and in Russia it was old. They didn't have even.
Russia was 20 years behind in computers. That time. Now the communication is better. So.
Okay, and I stopped doing any games. I did Pushky, Devilator, and one more game. I don't remember what's the name for this. I believe 5 in a row or something like this. First game, my purpose for first game for Pushky, I didn't like that games which appeared at that time and now, you play with computer mostly. It's not computer. You always can do. He will win from you.
Computer will win.
Computer will.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I wanted to make games which you play for two players play each other.
To each other.
To each other, yes, and this.
And it was in that article which Atari made, article about Pushky, they said it is the first game where two people play with each other, with joysticks played against each other.
Okay.
Not person with the computer.
Right. Person playing a person, not playing a computer opponent.
This was first game, and two other games were usual format, like person play against computer.
Devilator.
And
Right?
Devilator and another game too. And so they disappeared, everything.
Actually, back in Russia, he did on the mainframe, on a big computer, he did tic-tac-toe on endless field. He did it, but it was very difficult to...
Our first work was in New Orleans. My first work
here,
was in New Orleans in Tulane University. And I was there 1.5 months, and I did this game 5 in a row. When you do, it's called, in Russia it's called cross and nulls.
Noughts and crosses?
Nelson.
I think I know it as noughts and crosses.
Yeah.
Okay. It's
Yeah.
kind of like tic-tac-toe, sort of?
Yeah, sort of.
Yes, sort of tic-tac-toe, but on the big
Endless
purpose.
field.
And I
big
did
field.
it, but it was big computer for training. But I left New Orleans and left it was in 77, and left this game to them. I think it disappeared too.
Did your Noughts and Crosses game ever get published? Because I've never heard about it before today.
It wasn't published. It's just for boys who helped me to enter to the American life. I didn't know language, and I spoke with difficulties.
Still speak with difficulty.
Until now, really. Okay, but it was one game though, which I did, but it was for nothing.
We were lucky that we have good profession,
Yeah.
because with our language we wouldn't go too far.
So your games on the Atari were done in machine language, which
Yes, it was in the machine learning.
that's a little unusual for Atari Program Exchange. That's because it's difficult. How did you learn?
No, they sent me. I asked them. I called them, and I told I bought Atari, but I didn't have machine language. I didn't have any description, and they sent me a few books where I read them and did.
We started our programming. We graduated. We were first real professional programmer in Russia.
Mm-hmm.
And we started with the huge computer where there were keys, and if you want to enter something, this key 1, this key 0, 0101.
Right.
We started with machine language. We started doing programming with machine language.
Yeah, all these 3 games were written for Atari, were written in machine language. It's difficult, but it's possible. And it was not bad games.
It required more brain. More brain.
Kids like to play it. Our nephew play, daughter. They invited from school kids, and they played in Pushky 2 against 2. I did small.
Вот этот brother, как фамилия, тебя пригласили на...
Then one kid from Julia's school, from Julia's class, his father worked for Boston company.
Warner Brothers.
Warner Brothers.
He worked for what company? Warner Brothers. Okay.
Yes. And his father.
Friend of our daughter father.
Yeah.
Worked for Warner Brothers.
And he told about, and they did games, different games. And they invited me to show my games. I showed them these games. I told about a few ideas which could be done, and they liked it. Anyway, they told we liked, but it's usual American. Politeness to tell I like it.
No. They told him that would be nicer if this, instead of this Devilator, will be a space shuttle, spaceship, something instead of Devilator. And same idea, but spaceship is more.
No, but anyway,
popular.
3 or 5 persons look on this and gave me food, pay for food and for
for flight.
For flight there, and but they didn't take it. They decided to make another game.
Yeah, it was very, very fast. Developing. Very fast development was already.
So I'm trying to understand. You went to talk to the Warner Brothers people to talk about programming games for them, but then nothing came of it. Is that right?
I thought they told me, but they will tell me to do it. But they didn't suggest it, and I
didn't contact him anymore.
Yeah,
he went.
It was just they liked Devilator, but best program than Pushky. I showed them all 3 of this, but nothing happened from this.
Devilator was very, peaceful, too peaceful game.
Just putting people on an elevator and putting them on the right floor, and it wasn't exciting enough. They want shooting games and space.
Yeah.
I see.
Right, and this Devilator had a lot of variation because you have to fit that number of people in the Devilator, and if there are people with a wheelchair or something, they require more space. So it should be some thinking about how to. But it's all peaceful. It's all peaceful, too peaceful. So that
I was looking at that game this morning. I thought it was fun because there were many different kinds of people. There was an old man, and there was like crazy aliens and different kinds of young and old people and things. So that was fun.
Yeah.
So why are you interested in this?
Why am I interested? I love the Atari computers, and I like to talk to people who worked with them and find out their stories, and they're all different. Yours is unique.
We are unique and antique.
Yes. Um, did you make so the Devilator you sold directly?
No. I didn't sell
You didn't.
nothing. No. I just showed this my friends and my daughter's friends, and they saw it. Everyone liked to play in this, but I didn't sell. I tried to sell in one store.
Some people can't sell.
Yeah. I brought in one store. They took it and paid me even for not much. And one guy told and did not pay me. Just we have agreement that he will toll and will send me money. But or give me, if it could not sell, give me all the sample which I gave him to return sale. He didn't make anything. I stopped selling to this.
Did Pushky sell well? Did you make any money from that through Atari?
I had maybe from Atari I had $300, and they sell it by $5 or $10 too. So but they sent me check for $300 before they stopped doing this.
$300 was your total income from for a lot of work.
Profit.
No, okay, but anyway, it means because it was agreement, they pay me 10% of profit. So at least they receive at least few $1,000s.
Right. We could do the math. It sold for $23, so they didn't sell that many of them. And maybe they sold 100 or something of it.
Okay, but maybe if they gave me, as I remember, 300 maybe.
Okay.
I remember a few hundred. Okay, and if they sell 300, and it's how I calculate it, if it's 10% of their profit, it means 3,000.
The main thing,
Right.
he had a lot of fun doing it.
Yeah,
That-
yes.
That's an account.
And your daughter had fun, and your friends had fun playing.
Right. They had fun. And I would like him to do some games right now, but he
No,
is a,
right now all games, that time it was very simple game usually, and now they are so sophisticated, very, you should be good artist. I am not artist at all, and I am not good, not bad artist, say it like this. You should be a good artist. You should understand what's now on the market. And to make games now, it's usually Japanese games. They did whole team from a lot of people working, a lot of people trying, testing. It's a lot of work, really.
Right. It used to be just Yakov making a game, and now it takes 20 people, 100 people to make a game.
And to make these artists, you should understand that your product will be very good, competitive on the market, competitive. But I'm not a person like this.
yeah. He's a peaceful person. He's not greedy.
Now,
Are there any other Atari stories that you need to tell me that I haven't asked about yet?
The only I think Atari story, but you don't know that person.
Well, tell me. It's okay.
The guy named Berezovsky was recently killed in London by Putin.
Not by Putin, but,
No, but
his people. Yeah.
yeah, he's not personally by Putin, but on the request.
Right, yes.
The London court. Now they found out that he has some hands on many killings, many murders. So this Berezovsky was
In our house.
he was ordinary scientist and worked with Yakov in Moscow Institute of
In the same company, in the same institute.
same institute, research institute. And he when he came, but he was like already in some top position there. So Yakov, when we left, Yakov didn't contact him. But when Berezovsky came to business trip, came in this country, someone gave our phone number to him. And he came here and we met him and he stayed in our basement for 10 days. And then Yakov gave him this Atari to bring to that that place they used to work together. And later on, we found out that this Berezovsky became a billionaire and participated in Yeltsin government. And he did something for them for, I don't know exactly, but he was, everybody in Russia, and I think many people in London know about him. And that's, he can, why I talk about him, because Yakov gave him first this Atari as a gift to him.
Nice.
And so he left. He was afraid to tell that he contact immigrant, Russian immigrant here, because it was time
He could get in trouble.
tell about this. Yeah. So, but he brought this computer. I don't know if they use it or not. But it's one story about Atari because it's connected with the very famous political figure, political and financial figure, and that's probably it. And we unfortunately we didn't save anything which was done on this computer because I'm really sorry because it was many little things like our daughter made she took Russian song and made moving picture on this, and I have good ears, so I asked her to give me some music sound on this Atari, like for example, she pushed 89, and I hear the sound of this. So from beginning of that, I try and I edit by numbers. I added music to this whole movie she made, and it was interesting how to find music from the digits, from numbers.
You enter numbers and it turns into music, right?
Yes,
Yes.
and she did alarm clock, for example, on this Atari, which was sound at
And Atari at that time didn't have any languages. They didn't have. It's the reason why I did in machine code. But later they was in process to make some languages.
I think they later they had some sort of assembler A80 or something. 80, I forgot what it's called.
Yeah.
86 or 88 or I forgot the language they developed later on. But
I don't know.
they did everything in a machine language.
Yeah. Nice. Great. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. This was very interesting.
Very interesting. Where do you live?
Portland, Oregon.
Oh,
Where are you?
in
Washington
Maryland area, Washington D.C. area.
Oh, there's a Russian population there?
Yeah, a lot.
How is
Especially
in your
Rockville.
place?
Do you have any Russians there?
There is. There's a couple of communities of a lot of Russian people. Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
No, I believe not too many.
I go there for pierogi.
Okay.
Okay, then
Thank you.
goodbye.
If you enjoy these interviews and would like to contribute something, I encourage you instead to donate to one of our favorite organizations, the Internet Archive, at archive.org. The Internet Archive is a nonprofit digital library with the stated mission of universal access to all knowledge. They've done incredible things to preserve computer history, including hosting thousands of programs in an in-browser Atari emulator, creating the Wayback Machine, and offering full-page scans of countless Atari computer books and magazines. Make your tax-deductible contribution at archive.org/donate.